What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott Delp, and today we're going to be doing a recap review on one of my favorite rifles, the Stag 15 Tactical. So as you guys may know, the Stag 15 has been one of my go-to rifles for the longest amount of time now. I've had it for almost 2 years. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of it, and I thought I'd like to recap and tell you a little bit about it, bring it back to light, as this has been posted on the channel for long time now, and I just wanted to resurface it, all right, because I think it's a fantastic option. So real quick before we dive into it, I would like to say check out basementoperator.com. That is our apparel line here. You know, super important to get the canned goods tee or the new tee we just dropped. So
Las Finas Mas Operator.
Is that what it is? Las Finas Mas Operator? Anyway, go check it out, basementoperator.com. So the Stag Tactical, or the Stag 15. This is the first gen Stag Tactical. There's 2 of them out right now, and I'll go over the differences here in just like 5 seconds. But this is the original. It's 1,100 bucks. You can still find them on Stag's website occasionally, and the new model, which is about $1,400 to $1,500 depending. Some of the features of this Stag Tactical Gen 1 are, well, this one specifically, it has that beautiful tan Cerakote that's been beat all to hell, Magpul furniture. I don't know, remember, this is the MOE SL stock, and then just an MOE grip, 13.5-inch hand guard, 16-inch barrel, basic bulk carrier group, basic charging handle, you know, safety, not ambi by any means. It's got a mil-spec trigger. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, and you know, for that $1,100 price tag, you're not expecting a ton of bells and whistles. So the new Stags, the new Stag Tacticals that come in about $1,400, they got the new breech charging handle. I think it's Aero Precision's baby, but Stag has it on some of their rifles. It's got a new trigger in it, so that's another thing that Stag likes to show off on their new rifles is their new trigger. And then it has an upgraded flash hider of some sort. So I think those are the new features. Maybe there might be a different barrel in it. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't have one, so I can't really attest to it, but I can attest to this one. The real reason I'm bringing you this video is to tell you about it, and to tell you about the experience I have behind it. So we are well over 2,000 rounds into this firearm at this point. I'm no T-Rex Arms, and I can't shoot it like he shoots his guns, but this one has about 2 years of time and about 2,000 rounds, and it has done great. I have done pretty much everything with this rifle that you would want to do with a 5.56 16-inch firearm. I've taken it shooting long range, 400 or 500 yards. I shot it, I think it was like a recce build video with Sparky where we took it and shot at pop bottles. I'll pop that up here. I've done countless reviews with this firearm, the AccuFire 8, which is on it now and kind of what stays on it for the majority of the time. I've done, you know, EOTech. I think I did the EOTech on this one, or maybe it was the other one. But I've done tons of tons of optic reviews with this Stag, and it has performed awesome. I've run it suppressed an absolute shit ton. Abused the crap out of it in terms of banging it on stuff. And then, of course, people that shoot suppressed, they know that, you know, the suppressor's not easy on the firearm. It takes a beating to its whole internals, like buffer system and trigger system, bulk carrier, all that gets beat up when you're adding extra gas to it. It's taken that like a champ and absolutely troopered through most everything when shooting. I've done CQB stuff with it, long range stuff. I mean, this rifle has performed in every aspect that I have wanted it to. And that's one of the reasons I want to bring it back up and kind of highlight it. So now, before we dive into really who it's for, I want to talk about some of the things I like a lot about it. Some of my favorite parts of this rifle and that I think Stag does a really good job on. First things first is definitely the rail system. So this is Stag's rails. Aero Precision has one similar, or the locking mechanism is similar to it, and I like it a lot. So it's a very clean 13.5-inch M-LOK rail. The M-LOK is great. It is a very sturdy rail system. I've never had a problem with it shifting, moving, coming loose, walking forward, rotating, anything whatsoever. It has stayed perfect since I have got this firearm. It has been an absolute joy to have and shoot. I think the rifle or the rail system on this does really good at heat mitigation. which when I shoot this thing a lot, especially, you know, shooting at distance or shooting it really quick and I'm putting a lot of rounds through it, barrel heats up quick, suppressor heats up quick, all of it heats up doing any type of shooting really. And the rail system does a really good job at mitigating that heat, and I think I like it a lot because of that. It lets me, you know, shoot it longer, and that's one of the very important things that I like about the Stag. Accuracy, that's another thing that I think is super important, especially when you are getting a rifle and wanting to have one rifle in particular. Stag has done great. I would say on average, just shooting normal 5.56, 55 grain junk ammunition, you're looking at probably, you know, 1 to 2 MOA depending. Now, if you're going to get some match grade ammunition, you could probably push it sub MOA. That's just, you know, with the high end stuff. Not everybody's shooting the high end stuff. So when we did the recce shooting video, we weren't shooting like match grade ammo or anything. I might have had some Hornady Black, but I know I was shooting a lot of just crappy 55 grain brass, the cheapest brass you could buy. So that's what the majority of the ammo that's been shot through this. And when doing a lot of the shooting, that's what I've been doing. And I haven't had a problem whatsoever. And that's what most people shoot. So I feel like it's good to have that baseline, you know, cheap ammo works well in the firearm. And I think that's super, super important. Another thing, maybe who do I recommend this for? I definitely recommend this to anybody that's looking to get that budget firearm. A lot of people that are looking are like, say, sub $1,000, or even if they're pushing like that $800 to $900. I know a lot of people are in my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you want to DM me and ask me about firearms. But a lot of people are in my Instagram asking me, like, what's your favorite firearm? What's your favorite budget firearm? And a lot of the times I recommend PSA because, you know, you can get a $500, $600 rifle. But I always caveat that recommendation with, if you can afford to spend a little bit more money, the Stag is the way to go. I mean, I have been so thoroughly impressed about the abuse that this thing has taken and the ability to consistently perform and shoot good, that I think it's well worth the extra $400 that you spend on the rifle over the PSA or something that's a little bit cheaper, you know? And I mean, Stag makes super cheap options, but I think the Stag Tactical is kind of really the way to go. Some of the things that I don't like about it, and there are a few, they still haven't improved upon this though. They need a QD point right here. I had to spend 20 bucks and put a little M-lock piece right here, the little Magpul QD point for when I run a sling on this. So that's one of the things I think Stag could always improve on. Another thing that they have improved on that I think is a necessary thing is maybe upgrading the charging handle. I still have a stock charging handle on here instead of a Raptor for some reason. But Stag did put a breech in there, and a breech is very similar to a Raptor. It's, you know, an upgraded, nicer charging handle. For the most part, those are the only two things that I really think that could be improved upon the rifle. They put a new trigger in it, and I don't have a problem with the mil-spec trigger. I'm gonna be honest with you. Through all the shooting that I've done and through, you know, the different ranges that I've shot and the need for accuracy or not being as accurate, I think the mil-spec trigger does perfectly fine. You know, that 6 to 8 pound pull, I mean, it isn't ideal, but it's no Geisley, but I mean, it works, and it works really good. And I don't really have a problem with it. I think that a lot of people get hung up in the triggers a lot, and nice triggers are nice, but this one works good. It has a nice, you know, crisp, clean break, and then a really nice reset. So, I mean, bravo for them just having nice mil-spec parts in their firearms. So that's really who I recommend it to. I recommend it to anybody, especially if you can spend that little bit more money. And then you can get an FDE one, you know, with a really nice Cerakote. Despite me tearing it all up and being abusive to it, it still held up really good, and it still looks really good. I think it's one of the best looking rifles that I have to this day. I've been thoroughly impressed by the Stag. I think they have built a great rifle. And I think the Stag Tactical, at least the first generation, has been absolutely fantastic. So kudos to them. They did send this rifle out, so that's a caveat. They sent it out forever ago. They did not ask me to make this video. They did not tell me I had to make anything. This is solely like 100% personal opinion on one of my favorite rifles, especially since this is pretty much like almost day job at this point, where I do this all the time. And this is one of my go-to rifles for shooting and practicing and getting better, performing better, and, you know, testing out these optics for you guys. So go check out Stag. You can go to takesomeoneoutdoors.com/links, and there you can find a link to Stag's website. You can go give them a look. They have a ton of different options. Like I said, they have the Gen 1, and then they have the next generation Stag Tactical, and they have a bunch of different other firearms that are cool. They have a new 6.5 Grendel out, and a 6.8, and a 6mm ARC. Tons of the 6s. You know, that's a hot caliber right now. One of my favorites as well. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you learned something, and I hope you go pick up an awesome rifle. As always, guys, take someone outdoors. Peace.